Good afternoon, Therapy Army. Where are you? First of all, I'm sorry that it was 1 o'clock and then at 1:30 we decided to go live. Welcome, guys. This is a huge debate, massive debate in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yesterday, he put pen to paper. Well, he put pen to paper months ago, but they announced it yesterday. That's what they did. They announced it. They used the Sancho good feeling vibe to announce the hitters with Ole. And it's interesting. Ole's got 3 years with a further 1 more year. But first of all, I'd like to welcome my brother, Adam, from Quebec, all the way in Quebec. It's early morning things are going on over there. So welcome, Adam. How you doing, bro?
Thank you very much, Nordin. I'm quite all right. Thank you much. How are you? You good?
I'm good, bro. Good. We're just waiting for Saeed to turn up, actually. He should be here in a minute.
Yeah.
But we decided to go live because this discussion can't wait no longer. Let's just put it this way. We can't wait no longer in this discussion. So on today's show, people, what we're going to be, we're going to get stuck in. We're going to unpack Ole's contract, and then we're going to talk about, like the title says, how much pressure is on Ole this season to win a trophy, and then we're going to look back. We're going to look back on yesterday's result. Obviously, it is. I mean, we've seen people losing their heads on Twitter. You know, we got beat 4-2 by QPR. It's preseason game. I tend to not try to read too much into the preseason games. I tend to try to look at how the style of play that we're playing more than the results. But anyway, Adam, how is it over there, brother? How is Quebec? Is it summer over there as well?
Yes, and we're having so far it's quite nice. The weather's been very, very nice to us. Today is quite grey and raining, but that's, I think you're used to that, you know that. Yeah, but no, it's all right. It's all right. I have, as I said, I have a lot of work with school, so I'm enjoying the sun when I can. But then again, I'm not enjoying it as much as I could.
Essays. You got essays coming out of your ears, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Simon's essays coming out of your ears, man.
But no, it's quite nice. It's a nice summer so far. Really, it really is. Can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the winters we have. That's the thing.
Bro, I moan about the winters here.
Oh yeah.
So the winters over there, I can only imagine.
It's too much. It's too.
Yeah, what it must be like. Yeah.
You never get used to it. I was born here and I grew up here, and you never get used to it, really.
No. You can't get used to it. Yo, big up to all the therapy people, all the regulars. Yeah, man. Welcome, Adam, man. Welcome, Adam. There we go. Adam was part of the crew that was having a meltdown.
Yeah. I completely lost it yesterday.
Adam was part of the crew that was having an absolute meltdown yesterday. When the Ole contract was announced. So, Adam, I'm going to give you the floor, brother, because this was expected. We understand what the remit is for Man United. So if you look to the last, since 2013, the remit for the Glazers and the Bristol bankers who run our club has always been top 4. So any manager who struggles to get to top 4, they get the sack, regardless wherever the trophy they win. So it's not about trophies. The trophy has become top 4. And it's been clear for everybody to see. Ollie's got 2 stations on top 4 in the 2.5 years, 3 years that he's been here now. So they were never going to sack him, and he finished second, so they were never going to. But what I'm surprised about, and I'll bring this up, Pep Guardiola only got 2 years, okay, extension. Thomas Tuchel only got 2 years, extension. Poch only got 2 years, extension. So it was quite surprising that Manchester United have given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 3 years extension plus 1 more optional year. Obviously, we could not go into this season with him having to have 1 season left on his contract. That is not good for any club. Only club that can do that is really Chelsea. Chelsea will run down your contract because their model is totally different. Everything in the back room in terms of the footballing structure is for them to win. So they will take a manager, bring him in 2 years to win something. Don't win. See you later. You know, you're not getting anywhere. You're not going to win this. win a trophy, see you later. So this is what happens at different football clubs. But the model at Man United has been, the remit is top 4 is a trophy, whether we like it or not. Even though as Man United fans, that blows our mind. We're like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very interesting. But I want you to lay out your case, because the meltdown on Twitter was an absolute meltdown. So I'm going to be quiet right now. I'm going to sort out the lighting so people can see me, hopefully. Yeah. So lay out your case, brother. Lay out your case.
The thing is, we knew he had that contract, but I was still surprised because I'm not over the Europa League final. They wanted to announce the contract right after the Europa League because they thought we would win it, and we didn't, and that was pretty embarrassing. But the thing is, we all knew he was getting that contract, but it still came as a shock to me. I can't lie, Nordin, because the thing, I don't believe he deserves it. Yeah, I don't believe he deserves it at all. There are no club, not even the top clubs. There is no club in the Premier League that would take Ole Gunnar. You don't have to protect him. You protect him from who? From what? As you said, you cannot let him go into his last season without a contract. I would have done that. I would have let him. We are not running any risk of him, and he will choose Manchester United every time. And we need to add a bit more strategy to what we do. And the thing is, you are right with the top 4 and the Glazers. That's an absolute disgrace. But the thing is, they are using something and someone here. They are allowed to do what they're doing, the Glazers. We have a fan base that somehow wants this guy to still be in a job. And the fact that they announced it yesterday, just behind the Jadon Sancho deal, just they were riding that wave. Just it will go slick. We won't really notice it too much. So that's dishonest from them. But then again, what do you expect from the Glazers and the rest of them? But he didn't even deserve the full-time job. I wouldn't have given him the job in the first place. I would have kept him as a caretaker, and I would have hired someone else. He did not show me anything during his 3 years. Now it's closing on 3 years. That tells me he's competent, he's good enough, nothing at all. And he did not deserve a contract. And I do not understand the length of the contract, as you said, because 3 years, surely if he's doing a madness comes December, he needs to go, surely. And then you have the situation in which you will have to pay a manager again, like we did. I understand there will be many clauses in that will make it easier for them to sack him. But the thing, it still came as a surprise, Nordin. That's why yesterday I woke up and I saw the news and I was like, good God Almighty, what is going on? Because the thing is, I saw stats reported today and yesterday, and United fans cheering that only Manchester City and Liverpool have got more points than Manchester United since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or what, something like that. The problem is we have accepted that we are third best team in the country, and that's just based on the last 2 seasons. And you could argue we are not the third best team in the country, in my opinion, because I believe Chelsea are up there as well. We accepted that. That's it. You are not the big Manchester United anymore. We are not. So we just accepted the fact that Chelsea and City and Liverpool are better than us. And that's something that doesn't sit well with me. It really, really doesn't. How have we so easily accepted Manchester City being a bigger and better club than us? It baffles me. Saeed.
So Adam absolutely meltdown yesterday. Meltdown. He's just laying out his points about the reasons why, and he's still devastated, obviously, from the Europa League final. The only thing, I don't think I disagree with a lot of the things what you put down. I think the only thing that for me, I don't waste my time on the Ole in, Ole out thing, because I'm focused on the people above. Because the predicament Man United are, you laid it out just before. You said Man United have accepted coming third to Liverpool and Man City, right? The reason why we're third to Liverpool and Man City, because our footballing structure, our owners, and the Bristol bankers who run our club, have decided that is what the remit is. This is who we are. We have to accept this, right? So, but the thing that I disagree with you is that to have kept Ollie on 1 year left contract, that is destabilizes. Ferguson, I'll give you some historical context to this. Ferguson was going to retire after 99, yeah? After 99, Ferguson was like, right, done. Man United went and had an interview with from Johan Eriksson. Eriksson was the coach of England at the time. And anyway, all of this came out in the press. And what happened was that some of the players were like, you're not going to be here anyway. So that season, people were just having a laugh and taking the mick. So that's what happens. When players realize you're not longer, they're going to be there longer than you, they're not going to listen. They're going to decide what they want to do. So that is the danger aspect of it. The dangerous aspect of that, having a 1 year. If the football structure was set like Chelsea, because Chelsea will get rid of managers like Real Madrid or like Barcelona to a certain extent, you know, where they have a turnover of managers, or Juventus, where they have a high turnover of managers, then you could see that can happen. A manager can go into his last year and everybody will know because the structure's there, because they have other people in the background who make sure the players don't dip. Do you understand that? And those clubs hire coaches. They don't hire managers. They hire coaches.
Yeah,
they
of course.
Don't hire managers. So
I want to pick up here is in this very, very specific case of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he deserved to be sacked. He's not good enough. That's the thing is, so you can give him another year or 3 other years. He should not be here in the first place. So we have probably players who will be leaving, like Paul Pogba, because they can't even trust the players they know. For example, Pogba played with top-class players, played with under top-class managers. He knows this ain't it. He really knows it. So if you tell him Ole is staying, for me, that's an incentive to leave. That's an incentive to leave. And we will not be disagreeing on the structure and the recruitment, because I think you are absolutely spot on, and we'll come into that later, because I absolutely agree 100% that the problem is we don't have people competent enough to hire competent people, and that's the roots of
exactly.
That's a big point.
And this is my point. So I'm not going to expand energy and lose the plot in terms of thinking about Ole, because the reason was because it's the people who have Ole. You have the high standards. He has this high standards. We all have the standards Man United used to be, right?
Do you think Ole's a smokescreen for that, though?
No, of course, that's what I'm saying.
Do you not think that Ole is that? You know what I said to you a couple of months ago? Wouldn't it be better for Ole to be sacked so we can concentrate on the bigger problem? You know, sometimes I think Ole is that smokescreen, because
of course
if they've got Ole, it's like you've almost
a shield. They got a shield. They got
to not think about the worries.
And that's how you split the fan band.
And that's the fan base.
That's how you don't have the glaze in. But the biggest problems that I don't worry about it. I see that as a clear. He's a shield, right? Yeah. Because then they go, oh, things are improving. I mean,
there you go, then,
yesterday, if you looked at the statement, of all people, let's get it. Actually, maybe you can see it up, but I can, and most of you have seen it. The statement read that
I'll get it.
There's a mix and blend of youth and experience and top players, and this is Woodward that we play attacking football. And I'm like, what have you been watching last season?
He hasn't. That's the thing. He hasn't been watching.
But that shows you that Ed Woodward, the guy who's been in charge of Manchester United for the past since 2013, right?
Yeah,
we're telling you, Man United has played. So we already know the remit is top 4. So they never sack a manager for going top 4. So the idea of us losing to thinking, you know what, they're gonna sack. They were never gonna sack him, bro. Man United never sack a manager who finished second. Man United never sack a manager who's finished in the top 4.
Because what especially is pleasing is the way the progress has been achieved with a blend of young, homegrown, and top class recruits. You know what I mean? It's playing attacking football in the best traditions of FUFC.
You know
what I mean?
Those are buzzwords, because they resonate with a certain percent of the fan base, and that's the thing. Because look, we have very, very shocking owners, American owners who look. I can speak because I'm from North America as well, and I understand North American sports and the way they are run and the way they think, and they don't get it. They don't get football. They don't get they don't understand a sport that doesn't have playoffs, that doesn't have a limited amount of teams. They just don't, that doesn't have a salary. They just don't get it. And they're absolutely shocking the owners. The board is outrageous, as we've seen. But then we have a shocking manager. And let's not get it twisted. He is a very, very poor manager when it comes to football. He is very, very limited in what he does. But then again, those two problems are intrinsically, they are linked, of course. But they don't have to be mutually exclusive. We can have a shocking board because we cannot sack the board at the moment. We can protest, and we will eventually get to do something. And we've been doing quite some recent progress in the last few weeks of the season. But we do not have to tolerate as well a manager that poor. And the thing is, they ride the wave, the board and the Glazers, because he is protected by the fan base. People are backing him, so they are very, very happy with the situation. If we want Ole to go, because he's not, and the thing, I'm Ole out, but I'm not Ole out. Just get him out. I don't want to see. It's not personal. I'm really, and Saeed will tell you, I'm really focused on the football, on what I see on the pitch. That's my focus.
But with a football club, you can't just focus on the football. You have to know that, you have to understand that it starts from what the objective of the football club is in every department. Especially everything, the fish always rots from the head, right? So it's from the head is how it's directed. Like I said to you, I've named the clubs where this structure, not just the structure, but the way they want to win. They are champions for the reason. So the owners, the board, everybody, the managers they hire, the director of football guys they have, the head of recruitment they have, they all look forward in terms of, and they all put pressure on each other to produce, right? So everything of that club works to that. Man United is that. The remit is top four. I said it to him years ago. We are the new Arsenal. The trophy is top four. It ain't any other trophy. Van Gaal got sacked at the FA Cup final. He had the trophy right there next to him. He got the sack when the trophy's right there next to him. He missed out on the Champions League by goal difference. Now, Adam, you've laid out the case. Saeed, your first reactions on United Real Therapy on Oli getting the 3 years. Obviously, we knew it's the best kept secret in football. We all knew what was happening. But as me and
like an extended shot, you know. Honestly, man.
Was it still a shot?
Still a shot because for me,
it was still a shock to you. There's a thing of it was still a shock to me as well.
Yeah, because you know what, man?
Serious.
Shout out to Steve, I was at his 40th birthday, and I come back, and I'm there on my way home on the tram, and I'm thinking I've had a good time here. A little bit of a buggy. First time in about 2 years, learning. You know, it's like having a buggy for the first time.
Of course.
I had a little bit of buggy. And then, I see the United statement. Oh my God, what's going on here?
What's going on, mate?
Guy's new contract. And I thought, I kind of lost all hope of like the club winning things, because the problem for me is it's not about just getting Oli, like Adam said, not about just getting Oli for the sake of it, because end of the day, you need to get a manager who's going to be in there and can take over and do better than what he's doing right now. And my thing is, for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what he's doing for me is a DOF role. And I say that because I'll give him credit for taking all the kind of the toxicity feel in the club. And I think, he's got rid of the dead wood. He's got, he's trying to stabilize, and he's trying to pick out transfers, and he's just not doing what Mourinho did and just kind of like, picking players based on their kind of, you know what I mean? Like Zlatan and all that. I can see that. But the problem is for me though, and what I try to tell the people is, his managerial abilities are not the standard of Man United Football Club.
No,
that's my own opinion. And for me, when you look at the Premier League, right, what separates everything right now? Structure separates structure, and I understand that. Everyone's got a better structure than us. But at the bottom line, when that 38 games a season happens, Nuruddin, the football is what sets everything apart. That's why people don't say in mid-season, Glazers out anymore. Because they look at the football and they think, right, we have to analyse the football. No, everyone forgets about who Woodward is. But off the field, things come up. Oh, Woodward, we need to go back on now. That should be a kind of a thing that he should be hampering every season or every time of the season. No doubt about that. But when I look at it, for me, the basic principles of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaching is not up to my standard. So I can't say to myself, Nuruddin, I believe in a manager, and that's why for me I'm Ole out. Whether that's going anywhere, and whether people. That's why I say to people, by the way, don't take it personal. That's my new motto already now. Don't take it personal. Because it's like, as soon as you mention, Ollie's not the right man. Well, what are you talking about? You can't have another opinion.
No.
Listen, what I see at that football ground and what I've seen for the last 2.5 years, for me, is a good. And I've got the facts. What people are telling me that he's bringing to the table, these are all DOF roles. And he would be the perfect director of football. So
and even so, man, and even so, no, Saeed, even so, DOF for me, even that, the signings he made were very, very, very obvious. You do not need to be quite concerned and recruiting people for recruiting Harry Maguire around Bissaka. I can thank him for his handling of certain situations. We know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as a man, he's a genuine guy. He's not, for example, with Jose Mourinho. Yes, he has the CV. Yes, he has the trophies and everything. But I could not stand the man. I can't stand Jose Mourinho as a man. I cannot stand him because, and I've said it. If he wins a treble at the end of the season, when Jose Mourinho was in charge, if he still wins a treble, I want him gone because I cannot have someone who comes and disrespect my club, insult me, insult the hundreds of millions of United fans, and say that he knocked us out with Porto and with Madrid. He cannot come to the celebration, to the Munich air disaster, wearing running shoes and hoodies and not really respecting because United is more than just football. United is more than people don't really grasp it. As I said, Nordin, I wake up at 7 in a small town in Quebec in Canada. From the day I was born to this day, and I'm here on YouTube with you talking about Manchester United. And I'm far, far away from the city of Manchester. United is big. It's very, very big. And that was my problem with Jose. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that's not the same thing. I have nothing against the man himself. Actually, he looks like a very kind man. I don't have an issue with that. Is he competent? That's the thing. Is he competent? Because the problem we have now is, even with a good structure, or even if we had a very, very good in-place structure, if we had that, they wouldn't hire him, and that's the base. That's how it goes. But
that's a kind of argument as well.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna lay out. Said that to me. Listen, I'm gonna lay this out. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came, players that we didn't like, toxic, very toxic place, structure that didn't know what they were doing. Players that mismatch of players that we were thinking, what the hell? The likes of Ashley Young, Sanchez that wasn't even really playing, wasn't doing anything. Lukaku that was lost. All of these things. The man has cleaned house. For the first time in the 3 months, especially the first 3 months here, he sold us a dream, right? He was falling in love with our club again. And hence, that's why we're all singing Ollie's at the wheel and everything else that came with it, right? He's got the contract and then he wasn't backed. The biggest thing about Ole is that a guy who's learning on the job has done remarkably well. And I agree what Saeed says. And let's extend what you're saying in terms of like, he has done, even as a director of football, would he take us forward? That is if we had owners who were ambitious, if we had board members that were ambitious, and we had a structure in place. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs structure in place. That's what he needs. He needs a structure in place for him to help him. But he's looked like he's having to build the structure himself. That's what he's doing. Guy who's learning the job is building that structure. I don't want to come and be negative and just be all negative because I have to give the other side of the argument. Like I said, me personally, I don't worry about Ole in and Ole out. I criticize him when he needs to be criticized. I praise him when he needs to be praised. That's what I do. I just go match by match. But I don't have this set agenda. My biggest agenda is Manchester United having zero structure. Manchester United board, no ambition. Manchester United owners taking the absolute biscuit. Yeah. And they've been absolutely taking the piss for a long, long time, right? Now, some people will like this. Some people say, I'd rather have a toxic team that wins trophies than trophyless team. Now, the biggest thing about it is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, undoubtedly, because his calmness, and the like I said, the likability aspect that he has. We don't hear any kickoffs in the training ground. We don't hear any mutterings. He kind of spoke to Pogba's agent comes out in the eve of a big game, Champions League game. Ole has a word with Pogba. Pogba plays out of his skin till the end of the season. You know what I mean? That's what happens. Right?
That's the thing that I think Ole did very well is that managing.
That's what I'm saying. So his player management is fantastic, right? He's player manager. Now, the other thing that I critique him on, right? Because I personally think he's too busy. That's why he says he doesn't do the coaching. He's too busy working on the background and structure.
I disagree with that, though. I disagree with that.
Yeah. He's too busy working on that than actually working on the training pitch. But his in-game management is absolutely pathetic for a guy who's in charge of a Man United manager, right?
There you go.
And all of it summed up, right? I'm giving balance here, guys.
Yeah, I hear you.
Him being in that game in the final, the way he overplays players like Rashford, Bruno, absolutely gone dead on their feet, right? This idea of robust, he's got this idea like he's played in the 90s. He doesn't understand that game now has moved on. The game's a lot quicker. The game is a lot faster. The game is not like the way it was, when we played. Exactly. It's not like totally. So this idea of robustness doesn't work.
No,
when players are injured, they're going to be more a detriment to your team than they are to help your team. When players are injured, they will hinder your team than help your team. So these things is the things they have to realize. Mickey Phelan, I don't know why he's there, and I'll come out with my chest.
Vibes, man.
I will come out with my chest because he wasn't good enough to be a coach at any level. He was teaching at a college. Right? So because he's Man United DNA, that don't mean jack, mate. I'm not asked about. You know what Man United DNA is to people? Winning. That's what Man United DNA is. Winning and playing good football. That is what Man United DNA is. So this idea that job for the boys' business, I don't get. I'm not with that. And that is what he's come out with. I don't care. Did Klopp know what Liverpool were about before he became their manager? Did he know? Did he have to know, the Anfield boot room? No, he didn't. He understood. Him and the fans make a connection because they want to win and they want to play attractive football. That is where the facts are. Now, for me, looking at how our board is, our owners are, the Bristol bankers who run our club, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the best manager we can look for, having those three, because they don't know what they're doing. Owners don't, their remit is top four. The board don't have a clue. The Bristol bankers make it up as they go along. We have zero football structure, and please, people, stop telling me about Merta's doing the Let's not get it twisted. Listen, he's not doing any bits at all whatsoever, right? So I still see I see huge dysfunctionalities in our team. But Ollie, give it to him. We look at the league. If we want to run a trophy, you two would be sitting here going, but we didn't do that well in the league. He didn't win a trophy, but to finish second in a pandemic year, after all of playing three games a week, was for all the deficiencies that we have in our squad, it was impressive. So for that, he deserved to get a contract.
Did he give
for that?
The problem is though, you got to realize though, you have to take advantage of us also what you had. So get in that position, and also because you always say about Arsenal, top 4 club and all that. You go do that, but you have to have a trophy with it. To show that you've got the belief that say, you know what, I as a manager, if you don't win a trophy this season, I could, and I did say it on many live streams. You could understand why the board would give him a contract right now, Nuruddin. I can't understand why the board have given him a 4-year contract. I simply cannot understand it. And people can say, well, he's done this and done that. But again, man.
No, to me, I am surprised. Listen, I'm surprised at the length of the contract. Sorry? I'm surprised at the length of the contract.
And you know as well, by the way, that 4 years could happen, might not happen, So,
of course, come on now.
But the thing is, for example, just to go back to the learning on the job, that is something that we should not even say that. Because, for example, if you have, I'm giving you just a hypothetical example. If you have a big project to build a bridge in whatever city, in Montreal, for example, or in Toronto, a big bridge or a big construction, you get, and it's a 10-year project, for example. You go and you get an engineer to do that. You do not get an engineer who just graduated and you say he will be learning at the job. At the end of that 10 years, he might be good enough. Because that's a big project.
Oh, you can.
Adam,
you can. You can. Do you know why? If that engineer worked for a firm, they will have experienced team around him. They will help him. They will help him. They say, this is your first project. This is the one that you're building. They will have a lot more experienced people around him, a structure around him for him to succeed. Big firms do things sometimes. They do that.
I'm talking about a big project. You do not give that big of a job to someone who's new into the business.
Well, that's what they did. But our board did that.
We are Manchester United. Can we agree on the fact that the Premier League, the Champions League, and Manchester United is the highest level possible in the sport of football? Yeah, we should be getting the best people in there. The structure and the people who hire, absolutely agree. They're an absolute disgrace, and that's just a fact that we have to deal with. But then again,
but that's, brother Adam, you've just answered your own question right there. The board don't know what they're doing. The Bristol bankers, like I said, make it up as they go along. The owners don't care.
They know what they're doing. That's the thing. They know, and you know why? Because they know we are backing Ole. That they are very comfortable with him. The situation with Van Gaal was untenable at the moment. He won the FA Cup and we want him out, and he left. Jose Mourinho won I'll say two because the community
shield. Those of you who were tagging me stuff on Twitter saying that the charity shield is a trophy. The charity shield is a trophy. Yeah. You are absolutely taking
nice day out in London.
But Jose won 2 trophies, and he has as much as I don't really like him, he has the resume to suggest he might win some more. And he left. The problem we have is now the Glazers, they don't want to spend too much. They know that the manager is protected by the fan base. He's an ex-player, this, that. So they can just play with that. They know what they are doing. Why? Because we are allowing them to. We are allowing them to, because the thing is, they can sack Ole, they can hire another shocking manager, but they could make a good appointment. We could win a league or a Champions League, and the cycle will go. And we still have bad owners, and we still have a bad structure, but we do not have to tolerate both situations: a shocking owner and a shocking manager. And the
two come together, Adam. Majority of times, you look at the clubs that fail; they have shocking owners, board. And they hire shocking managers, and they keep sacking the same. That's what happens.
You know what?
That's what happens.
I'm sorry, but Liverpool, they don't have the best owners, aren't they? The owners.
They listen. They listen to they put structure in place. They've got head of recruitment. They've got the Adams guy who's an absolute. Listen to me, a transfer whiz, right? They had injuries last season. They need to improve. They understand they can't sit still. Okay. But the project they put together in the last 4 years has been incredible. They went to Champions League two finals, won one, and for the first time they won the league title by playing incredible and amounting so many points. So we have to
look at the situation they had before that.
The owners of Liverpool, the structure they put together, and the manager all came together. They were all focused to be successful, and they have been successful.
But the thing is, they had a very, very good, a very bad period before that, in which they were making very bad appointments, very bad signings.
But
the thing is, it just happened that Klopp came to Liverpool, and he came knowing what he does. I'm expecting Liverpool to crash the moment he leaves. I'm really exposed.
No, it depends.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was at an event yesterday, and I was speaking to some United fans, and they were saying to me, "Well, what can you do after Ole?" I think that for me, that's a very, very kind of alarming question, because that for me is if United fans don't know what the board are capable of, they don't know what the board can do. United fans don't think beyond Ole. We don't. For me, there was always going to be a part of Sir Ferguson after him. Same with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. My thing is, we still have to have that expectation that once a new manager comes in, who are you looking towards? Is it a Brendan Rodgers, who for me I think would be a good fit at United? Is it a manager? What do you mean? No, are you crazy?
A guy who's managed Liverpool is going to be very difficult for certain United fans to take. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you out there, guys, right? That's one thing. Managers don't go from Liverpool to manage Man United. Players don't go. Players don't go between Liverpool and Man. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting
of course. The last
time will be spitting kittens, mate.
Yeah. The last time that happened was like 70 or 60.
That's what's going to happen. You know what? He's good enough for Leicester, but United, different kind of pressure.
But then Zidane will be like, he speaks French, you don't speak English.
No. Listen, I'm not asking about that. Listen, I'm not asking about that. Lots of managers don't speak languages.
I mean, and they are wigs. We don't like wigs.
Listen, no.
Right, for example,
he wears a wig. He wears a wig. That Conte is wearing a wig.
But for example, Marcelo Bielsa doesn't speak a word of English, and look at him.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have to speak. You don't have to speak incredible English to get your points across. Right, that is Ollie done. Right, here's we go. The question I'm gonna hit you first: how much pressure is on Ollie this season? Having had that, listen. So I'm gonna remind people. So Poch only got 2 years extension. Yeah, Guardiola only got 2 year extension onto his contract. Tuchel only got 2 years extension, right? Ollie's got 3 with a further one more option. Okay, so he's at the backing. Let's just put it this way: he's at the backing in terms of a contract. No. In terms of like his own backing and confidence in him as a manager.
You have to analyze. Listen. A lot of the fans that are supporting all that forgot about how much money he's spending right now. Right now. So
okay. Like, I will come into that.
Highest in Europe.
Listen. Yeah.
Highest in Europe.
Listen, I'm gonna come and ask the question: how much pressure? I'll come to you in a minute, Adam.
Yeah.
How much pressure is on Ollie
to ask me
this season? No. I'm not saying you as an Ollie out person, right? Guys, please get the likes up.
Yeah, man.
You're not gonna get straight talk like this in here, where the debate, everything gets laid bare, right? Everything out of the closet, everything's coming out, all the skeletons, bones, and everything. Everything's coming out, right? Because we give the proper balance. This is not Ollie bash. This is not negativity. This is how individuals feel about the current situation. Saeed, put yourself aside. Put your feelings for Ollie, right? No. Put that aside. But think about it in a grand scheme of things. As a United fan, how much pressure would it be on any other manager? Forget that his name is Ollie, right? Forget that his name is Ollie.
That's a challenge for the league.
No. But I'm saying to you, how much is for him to win a trophy this season?
Oh, massively. For me, there has to be always an expectation for a manager to win a trophy, regardless of if you're an inexperienced manager, regardless of if you not being backed on. To be winning a trophy at Man United Football Club is an absolute paramount. The years at Sally Ferguson in that 2004, 5, 6 period where we won the FA Cup and Carling Cup, it wasn't good enough. Everyone was itching themselves thinking, Premier League, Champions League, we won it. For me, it's massive. And I think the excuses will have to stop this season. Oh, this not been this and not that, and he's only been there, he's only done this, and he's not really got a foot in, he's not got his coaching staff. For me, it has to stop. My feelings already. I don't really personally want him there. But again, I have to support the team. I have to be there to watch it. This is what we do. We support the club. And for me, it's no excuse this season. If he has a slow start, the pressure will be on. Because now he's at home now. Before, the other backing was from the interim role. That was on the back of his success in that interim role. They gave him the job. In reality, for me, I think we all got a bit too giddy. But again, we were stuck in a relationship with Mourinho that was so toxic.
We would have took anything.
We would have took anything. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They always say is don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know what I mean? At that point, we were like, you know what? I'll take it. And then now is the time where he's now in the house now. He's paying the bills. He's, he's got everything set for him now. He has to deliver. But my problem is now, Nuruddin, 2 shells here now. There's top managers. You know what? Even Nuno at Tottenham now will cause problems now. There's other managers out there will analyze Man United and say, right, last season, this. They were second. Can they go one above? Is that with England? Similar to England now. The only way now England have to improve now is to win it now, surely. Because they've got the semi-final, final, they have to win it. But do you trust Southgate to win it? What would be the answer?
It all depends.
No. If I was asking now, would you?
Ole gonna Southgate.
So, that's why
the name, by the way.
I feel like they're brothers, that movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other one. It's the twins. They're like the twins.
Danny DeVito.
They're like the twins. So Ole gonna has reached the semi-final and a final. Ole has reached the semi-final of the Europa League, and then he reached the final. So now it's a big season for these two managers. What can they do next?
Right.
The expectation now is one above. Can they do it?
Gauging the temperature of the fans, how much pressure do you think Ole's under this season?
If you want, you have to separate them. If you want an honest opinion, the match-going fans is backing him. The match-going fans, and for me, I don't really like to do that because, I always see everyone as a fan. But the match-going fans that are there, listen, you will hear ole, because they are traditional fans who, and as well, we've got older generation. As they like to have the traditional Man United. They'll say, you know what, we're going to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and we're going to back him because.
And is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing?
For me, yeah. If you want my honest opinion, it's a free world.
Yeah, I'll say
It's a free world.
Yeah, everybody has their opinion.
I'm not a dictatorship. Similar to the guys that are, for me, that are Ollie Inns. They say to me, they're coming after me. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they don't want me to have an opinion. As soon as I criticize a manager, you know, it's like, well, what do you mean he's trying to change the structure of football club? He's trying to do this and that. And that's my opinion. And I just think for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't the man. But again, you know, this will be another season to prove. But again, I put this a question to you. At Man United, Norridin, the question should never be prove me wrong. You know, whenever you have a manager that says to you, after 2.5 years, prove me wrong, and I'll show you, all you Ollie outers, why you were wrong to call him out. Well, the basis was on the evidence that for them 2.5 years, it was failing. You know, whether we talk about structure and everything, him as a manager was failing. So for you, all the guys to say, you know what, well, it'll prove you wrong. Well, listen, that's what football's here for. I'm a fan. You know, we have to buy into your project. We have to buy into what you can do. Exactly. So by the time we do that, you know, as a fan, we're going to be celebrating regardless. I'll be in City Centre, Piccadilly. I will be celebrating Norridin because that's what you do.
No. I mean, this is the bit. This is the bit where I don't get some of the Ollie inners.
Yeah.
When United are doing well, they'll say, "Oh, all the Ollie outs there." You go, no. Listen, I'm not about that because at the end of the day, we're all football fans. But Adam, I'm gonna come to you.
Yeah.
How much pressure? So too. Personally, could be personal to you, or you think the temperature of the fan base that you see because you're not a match-going fan.
Yeah.
But what you see on social media and what you see around the blogs, how much pressure is on Ole this season to win a trophy?
I think quite a high pressure because people are backing him. They are happy with him. What I see is that a lot of big accounts, a lot of people that get a lot of likes and retweets, for example, they are most of them backing Ole or Ole in or whatever they want to call themselves. But those things, they change quite quickly. So if we get a poor season, if we are not doing well, and sometimes one game, one result changes the perception of quite a big percentage of the fan base. For example, a lot of people who were backing Ole at in the European Cup final, they lost it. They're like, oh, this is very bad. This is bad. You did not get one good decision right. You did not do anything correctly in that game. And so I believe he will come under quite a bit of pressure, especially if we sign Raphael Varane, because now the entire back five is his. The entire front line is his, or at least he likes all of them. If he gets Varane or a midfielder, the entire team is his. He doesn't really have an excuse not to. And where I stand personally is, if he showed me any sign of competence, I would be okay with not winning a trophy for the last 2.5 years. But if I was seeing something that tells me, well, at least he knows what he's doing. He knows this. This is the direction he wants to go. This is his thinking. This is how he understands and thinks football. Like, for example, Southampton in the Premier League are a very well-run club. And they stick with Ralf Rangnick, who took 2 9-0 losses. But Ralf Rangnick, when you watch him play, when you see the teams he managed in the past and Southampton, the way they play under him, you can understand what he's trying to do. And even though they had bad results, you can say, look, they are lacking quality. They've had injuries. They are doing something. They have a good structure in place. You can back them, even though the results haven't been as good as they would want, as they would expect. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if I was seeing what I'm seeing with Ralf Rangnick, for example, or with Brendan Rodgers at Leicester, even if he hadn't won the FA Cup, what I could say, Hassan Hutel, not Rangnick, I'm sorry, Ralf Hassan Hutel at Southampton. Rangnick, the director of football in Germany, but Hassan Hutel at Southampton, sorry about that. If I was seeing what I'm seeing with Hassan Hutel, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I could say, look, he hasn't won a trophy, but I see what he's doing. The board is a disgrace. He doesn't have the tools in place to be successful. He doesn't have a director of football who will help him get this, get that. The owners are not spending as much as they should. So I cannot really blame Ole for that. I see what he's trying to do, but I'm not seeing that competence. I'm not seeing that thing that tells me, look, he is good enough for the job. So as much as I agree 1,000% on the structure and the director of football and the owners and the bankers, and they are the root of the problem, they are. Do not get it twisted. I'm not seeing anything that tells me Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even with a good structure behind him, would do well. So the pressure is high on him. Is high because he has to deliver. He's not in a situation in which he can not deliver, and we are happy with that. It cannot happen. He has to deliver, otherwise we're not seeing anything on the pitch. Anything. So I took a bit too long maybe on that. I know if you understand.
Now it's more to deliver than to hope to deliver.
Yeah,
you know, that's it. I think that's the key thing now. It's not hope to deliver, it's time to deliver.
It's time. Yeah,
that's the thing.
I will answer my own question. I think this is properly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even deep down, the Ole inners, deep down, this is a huge pressure.
Yeah,
so this is from the Ole inners.
Yeah,
because I've spoke to a couple and they're like, if he doesn't win a trophy this season, then you know what? We said give him time. Give him time. And 3.5 years later, if there's no trophy, then it's going to be a serious problem. So I'm not too bothered about the length of contract he signed. If he finishes outside the top 4,
Ole's gone. We should have fixed it up because at the end of the day, they gave Mourinho another contract and he got sacked because it all depends on the next season. If they don't see improvement, then you'll realise. Then I'll be vindicated where I say this club is not ambitious enough to win trophies at this football club. And ultimately, I think that beforehand because I think any other club in world football of Man United standards will not tolerate this. No matter how big you are, no matter how bad the structure is, they will not tolerate this. Pirlo came into Juventus, won 2 trophies, but they said to him, you know what, mate? We don't do this job for the boys with business, mate. We don't do this. We're not learning on the job. See you later. We're going to get him back Allegri, you know what I mean? And we're going to just finish off what we're completing. And the structure we're building is going to carry on. And that's my own preference, you know what I mean? But again, it's down to what people want, I don't know what the right way of winning anymore is. I think that's, for me, old school. The right way of winning is old school now. Now, you look at Leicester now. There's other clubs in there now, Nuruddin. Even I would call like a Rafa Benitez now, Everton. He'll make them hard to beat, rather than a, I'm not trying to say to you, he'll make them hard to beat now, where you might go to that ground and think, oh, that's an easy 3 points there. But it's not anymore. Suppose Tottenham he'll make them tough to beat. So these kind of situations now, I'm thinking, last year, we got away with all these scenarios, and whether you can say credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
No, it is credit. It's credit.
Okay, credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yes,
we have to give him credit.
To be fair, I think there's factors to it, but I don't want.
No, but listen, but there's factors to anything. It's been a pandemic.
Yeah, 100%.
If United would have finished 7th, you would have been like, you know what you would have been like. There's factors to it. Get him gone.
That's why I said to you, factors or not. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Factors or not, he got second position. This is the key point now. The key position is adding trophies to it. Next season, you know what I mean? The same premise could be that you could be 4th, wherever you think is 4th. But to not win a trophy in that point again, that is where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer failed upon because he should have added to that position. His position now, we're now in 22, what is it now? July 25th now. Do you remember that second position?
No.
There you go.
I remember that. But then as football fans, we always remember the bad things.
No, I know that. But
we
again,
remember
why we put ourselves a lot of the emphasis on, for me, position. Because at the end of the day, we still have to.
So I'm telling you that if you would have finished 5th, you would have been like, that guy finished 5th, get him out of here.
The problem we have.
No, hold on. But that same premise, though, if you didn't want 2 trophies, then what would you have said?
I would have been like,
What United fans look at and think, you know what? In that time, he's got the Europa League and the FA Cup. To my knowledge, if they were looking at it and thinking, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer contract, you would say there's some sense to all these guys coming at me thinking, they've got an argument. And I understand that. They've got an argument. But if you say now, he's got second, but the season resets. Season resets, yeah. And I'm not going to counter the argument because for me, I don't want to go there. But season resets, right? But then he's not won trophies when everyone else has been Liverpool. Absolutely. Won a Champions League. That is what I'm talking about in terms of how you assess it.
And as fans, as he says, yes, go ahead. Excuse me.
No, I'm just thinking this season again, the new reset, the pressure that's on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be enormous. Can he handle it? That's why for me, I said get a new manager that can handle the expectations. So you know what? I can take this young squad. I can take what you've built, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And thank you very much, by the way. What you've built, and I can take these guys one
Has he put proper foundations in place?
No.
For him, now it looks like it's for him. He's put proper foundations in place to a certain extent, bro. Yeah. Because we still got mismatch. We still got six midfielders. We've got 6 midfielders, and they're all a mismatch of things. You know what I mean? Or 5 midfielders.
Yeah, but if I can
anyway, first of all, can we just big up to the people of Mauritius? Big up people in Canada, people in Montreal, Quebec, people all over the world, man, who are tuning in. Big up to every one of you people. United Real Therapy is a united global club. Over 130 of you in here, guys. Please like the video because it gives other people to view this video and for people to see this kind of discussion that we're having, right?
Get the likes up, man.
You know what? It doesn't hurt anything. Just get the likes up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. This is the Real United Therapy. I'll come to you on the last point of this pressure.
Yeah.
What do you think happens if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't win a trophy, but finishes 3rd or 2nd next season in the Premier League?
Not enough. You know why? Because nothing, as I said earlier, nothing shows me that he has a method to what he does. For example, I'm with Saeed on a tactical show with Aiden on Wednesdays, and we address the tactics. We talk about it. And I like my little brother. For example, you Saeed, if you want someday to have a chat with my little brother, he knows everything I know. I got from him, and he knows even more so than I do.
Okay, brilliant.
The thing is with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if he doesn't win a trophy, he's not in a situation in which we can back him because he's not showing competence. We have a manager that makes subs before defending a corner. We have a manager that plays a back 3 and put Aaron Wan-Bissaka right wing back, exposing every single one of his weaknesses and none of his strength. We have a manager that plays out from the back without pressing in the 4-2-3-1 with Fred and McTominay in midfield, which makes it very, very difficult to progress the ball forward with Bruno in the 10. We have a manager that plays 2 goal-scoring wingers on the wing, 2 goal scorers on the wing in Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford, and wants to play them with Edinson Cavani, who's a goal-scoring 9. If you have goal scorers on the wing, you need someone like Firmino, like Benzema, like Martial at 9, so you can put the goal scorers forward. The basics, the very fundamental basics of coaching are not here. So if he was showing me signs of someone who's real competent, someone who knows what they are doing, well, then I could say if he gets 2nd with 86 points, 87.
Exactly.
No, if he gets something very, very, that shows me, okay, look, maybe, because sometimes winning a trophy is about being lucky or not lucky. Sometimes it happens.
What about that 4-3-3? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer starting. That was where everyone fell in love with him.
Yeah.
But again, he went away from that.
No, because we saw Herrera and Matic, and that was a younger Matic, you know. Matic,
but he had the same.
Yeah, no, but Matic never had legs. Matic never had legs, and that's 4-3-3.
No. For that season, he did. That was his best season.
No, and the thing is, Matic
went downhill after that.
Matic never had legs. I'm sorry, he never had legs. And the thing is, the 4-3-3 we had, it worked out for.
No, he can't play, bro. He can't play 3 days. Can't play 2 games in a week now. Matic, he's gassed.
Fernandinho can.
Yeah, for Fernandinho, that's a different level of athleticism.
And
you know what? I've got one thing to critique what you said. To me, 3 goal scorers because Cavani's not a number 9. Cavani works hard. Cavani can go left, can put a ball in.
Yeah, but he's a number 9.
Yeah, he's a number 9. He's a number 9, but he's not your typical number 9 that just goal lines. He's not. He comes back, tracks back sometimes into midfield, into the right back, chases the ball, hustles to get the ball back. He wants to be involved. So I don't mind. The only thing that I would say, Greenwood is not. To me, Greenwood can be a number 10. I've seen him play as a number 10 and as a number 9 as well. To me, as a winger, he's not a winger. He's not. His body shape is more to be inside the width. He's not a winger as, like, say, Sancho. When Sancho plays on the right, he will look totally different in the way he plays compared to how Greenwood does. Of course, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, of course. But going back to Cavani, he's not like Martial. He's not like Harry Kane in the sense that he's someone you need to feed. You need to.
No, of course. Yeah, of course.
For example, you have strikers that you do not really need to feed as much because their overall play is so rich. It's so I have the word in French, but it's so rich that you can have many faces to their game. So, for example, Karim Benzema, if you try to feed Karim Benzema, he will score 25 goals, 30 in a season. But if you do not play with natural wingers like Leroy Sané, for example, or Riyad Mahrez to feed the number 9, and you have Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, where you can still have a player like Anthony Martial and Karim Benzema who will bring the wingers to play. Cavani is not really that sort of player, even though he tracks back and even though he has an amazing work rate. The thing is, it looks as though Ole doesn't grasp that. People say Cavani is the number 9. People seem to forget Cavani didn't start the season very well, and he
was injured all the time. He's getting injured right, left, and center. And I talked about it. That's why I was talking about him signing 5 years ago. Cavani, yes, Cavani now.
And he started playing well when Pogba moved to the left, because Pogba is not a goal scoring. He's not a goal scorer. He's a midfielder who played on the wing as a creator. He took Marcus Rashford's spot. Marcus Rashford is the thing is, for example, Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Scott McTominay, we always struggle to nail down their position. And if you don't really, and that's something maybe we'll talk about, Saeed, on your show next week, maybe that's a point I'd like to bring on. If you cannot really nail down a player's position, you need to take a look, not always, but take a look at the academy from which they are from.
Yeah, true.
English academies, they play in 4-4-2. Traditionally, England plays the 4-4-2, and it has switched in the last 15 years or so, maybe. But at academy levels, players play in the 4-4-2, so they can nail down the attributes of playing a winger or being a midfielder or a striker. Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood, we struggle to know if they are wingers or they are strikers.
No, Rashford is a wide guy.
I don't believe Rashford is a striker.
Rashford is not a striker. Rashford is not a striker.
No, Rashford is not a striker and he's not a winger as well. You know why? Because Marcus Rashford is best suited to play in the front 2 with a target man like Olivier Giroud, and he has that space to go wide and make runs in behind because he has someone holding the number 9 spot for him, but he has the freedom to roll. He is the sort of player that you would play in a 4-4-2, in the front 2, and he is free. Mason Greenwood
to be fair, I've seen him, he can go up and down when he's fit. Yeah. When he's fit, he can play as wide. He can play wide.
He can play wide. His first instinct is to cut in and score, and shoot. He's not a touchline winger like Leroy Sané is.
Because listen, the idea, the days of the touchline wingers they're not there anymore. There's not many. In the world. There's not many.
But for example, Pep Guardiola plays with touchline wingers. Pep Guardiola plays with touchline. Yeah, and that's the thing.
Sterling is a goal scorer. He's not a touchline winger, really. Sterling comes in all the time.
Right.
Mahrez comes in. Mahrez is a winger, but he likes to cut in as well. So does Bernardo Silva.
Yeah,
they don't like to go out wide. But the way he sets up, Guardiola sets up tactically, sometimes they are wide. They are option out wide.
No, they are wingers. They are wingers by formation. The way they were brought up in their football academy and their formation is as midfielders, as wingers. Raheem Sterling is good at coming inside, but the season City played with, and they scored 100 points at 17-18. He played right winger, quite wide. Yeah. He is a winger. He's more of a winger than Marcus Rashford is. Marcus Rashford is more an inside forward. He is a forward. And for example, Scott McTominay, we don't know if he's a 10, we don't know if he's a box. McTominay plays in the midfield too. He goes up and down with 4 midfielders, 2 wingers, and someone alongside him. People don't understand where does Juan Mata play. Mata, is he on the right wing? Is he a number 10? Mata, David Silva, Santi Cazorla, Isco, they're all from Spanish academies.
Middle guy.
They play in the 4-3-3, so they play more in the middle, but they play as number 8. They do not play wide, they do not play in the 10, because those are different profiles that are not the system in which they were brought up in their footballing formation or whatever. So that's the thing. If you don't understand,
you know what, guys? Can we get the likes up, please? You know what? Can you get the likes up? Let's get over 100 likes, people. Adam, the thing that I would say to you, sir, sometimes it's not even about the formation, because the way you are is what you do to get the best attributes out of your players.
Absolutely.
The best managers look at their players. It's not about where they are on the pitch. It's too much. It's not about where they are. It's in any given moment. It's what you can, the best that you can get out of the play, especially in attacking areas. Now, for me, it's going to be very interesting for the first time. We're going to see Sancho on the right-hand side, because for the past years, we have become so lopsided with Shaw. Shaw he's one of the most creative players in our team. Shaw is. Shaw, Bruno are the two, and Rashford actually creatives. Because interesting, you say Rashford's assist rate is incredible.
Yeah, but Rashford does whatever he wants and he shoots and he does whatever he wants.
Yeah, but his assist, what you said, what contradicts what you said, his assist is up there as some of the best. His number of assists, yes, his assists this season has been fantastic. Rashford, look it up, honestly, look it up. He's assisted many goals and he scored the most goals. His numbers in terms of assisting and goals have been the best, even though he's not been the best in terms of physically, condition-wise, where he's been, right?
No.
I want to come on to yesterday's game. I would like to come on to yesterday's game because we all agree, guys, in the comments, please, right?
We got outplayed, man.
Yesterday's game. Listen, how much we got QPR, mate. We got QPR. Listen, how much, I want to ask in the comments, how much of it do you pay any attention to the results in a preseason, and how much do you pay attention to the actual fitness? And also, how many youngsters we've had under 23s really played?
Yeah.
Our under 23s plus
You know what
Lingard.
Should I say what I was concerned about?
Plus Lingard,
Yeah.
who's not going to be here if most likely.
I hope he stays.
Plus, and that's what I'm saying. People were getting angry. I thought a lot of people were getting unreasonably angry, right? So we got Andreas Pereiro's not going to be here, right? Matic, who's gone, who's his last legs, right? He's gone, right? He should be going really. Matic should be going to Italy this year, really. He should be now going to Italy.
Ambassadorial, by the way.
Right.
That's what I got told. Well, someone put it on the
boys.
for.
Listen, job for the boys' business.
Yeah.
So we've had majority-wise, it's been under 23s, right? Yeah. And Tuan Zabi, Juan Bissaka, who just looks like he's not had a good rest.
I think that was the alarming point. Tuan Zabi and Juan Bissaka yesterday.
I thought they were poor.
You know, you can analyze performances, yeah, and I think for me, you know, yes, it's preseason and whatnot, but the same mistakes. Tuan Zabi is positionally again not the best. He should be the leader in the Menju, you know. But you look like Menju was all over sorts, and I felt sorry for the kid. And Wan Bissaka again near post now. It's happening in 2 preseason games now. And people can say, well, it's only preseason, but you know them same mistakes will happen in a big game, though. Adam, these same mistakes will happen. So my point was yesterday when I was looking at the game, I thought, yeah, man. A, Bradley Williams for me, I don't think he's got a future at United. And 2, you know, Tuan Zabi and Wan Bissaka, you know, they need to have serious questions. Whether competition now, Dallow's leaving, apparently Dallow's leaving, we should maybe bring in another right back in maybe Trip.
Dallow's leaving, is it confirmed?
Sorry, Dallow, they're working on it. He wants to definitely leave though. So these things need to be embedded. But again, I'm not going to look to the game because again, it's preseason. Most of them were kids, yeah. But I just look at it and I think the Wan Bissaka and especially Tuan Zabi, you know, there needs to be serious question. That guy, set piece defender guy, whoever, he should be, you know, Wan Bissaka should be told, right, you know, where are you? Where's your alertness? Where's your kind of, you know, presence? You know, every time when the ball goes on top, it looks like he's like, it looks like he's just here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like maybe that guy, I don't know what it's called.
Get out.
Yeah. It's like that. You know, so they were for me, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but they were the 2 things where I thought, yeah, man, not good enough, man.
Adam, what did you see yesterday? What was encouraging? Let's go for some positive. What was encouraging yesterday?
Elanga was the second half.
What was encouraging? And I don't read too much. Into the preseason. I can't say what was alarming, and I don't really know what was encouraging. You know, because for me it's the same. What's encouraging, I cannot read too much into it, and what was bad, I cannot read too much into it. I'm just being coherent in my thinking. I do not read too. I shared the video yesterday. People thought I was going in on the result. I was not going on the result. It's just that we had QPR fans singing that they want Ole to stay, and that I felt was embarrassing. But into the actual game, nothing new. But we don't look like we know what we are doing. It feels like Ole, since it's a preseason game and the kids are playing, it's just like, okay, go out there and play. No instructions still. You know, just get fitness, but get fitness to players that won't be playing this season. Of course, I understand that the big guns are not yet really back from their holidays, and he can't really get them minutes to get
fitness for the kids, though, isn't it? It's fitness for the kids more like.
It's fitness for the kids, but the kids won't be playing. I'm just happy that Ahmad is playing.
It feels like a win. We'll see more Brentford and Everton game, we'll probably see them come back.
More of the Everton. You'll see more of the Everton game.
Everton game, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not the Everton's not the next one. Is it the one after?
You got Brentford, you got Preston,
and then Everton. The Everton game will be interesting to see what team, how many first team players
are back. Yeah, absolutely. Because preseason, you don't read too much into preseason. I don't. If we had a method, if we were seeing something, a pattern or something, I would like, even though the loss was bad, if we were doing something interesting, I would say, oh, you know what? Maybe this is something they're working on, and I'm looking forward to see what it looks like with the first teamers. But yesterday, for me, it was a dead game, and everyone beside. If we are looking to sell Dalot, I think that is outrageous. That's my opinion. I think it is outrageous because as I said on your channel,
Shaw changed when Tellers came in.
Exactly.
A lot of people in the comments are going for Dan James. Well, I mean, where is that coming from? Is this an agenda, people? What's going on?
I think he's got a contract.
He's a squad player. He's a squad player. Yeah. He's a squad player.
Again, it was given an alibi by Ryan Giggs, and not the best alibi, is it?
Yeah.
Nothing else to say on that one, folks. Nothing else to say.
We don't want it.
Saeed just absolutely body slammed him, didn't he? He just body slammed him. Giggs is a legend. How dare you? Nothing is proven,
it's not the best choice of character, is it?
yeah, well, exactly. But when
alibi, get it? Alibi. In court and all that, the court case. He doesn't even know when he does the puns, eh? Okay, so the best, another best kept secret was announced a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
Sancho. We got Malcolm. Malcolm was like, we should talk about. But I'm like, they've took all the viz out of it. Yeah, how could you pop a champagne, right?
Yeah.
Right? When the thing is all gone.
It's all gone,
when the thing don't pop.
Yes. I was seeing people get
Sancho's like champagne without the viz, mate.
I know.
Without the pop.
Yeah.
And I saw people being mad for United not announcing Sancho, but we know he's here. I mean, I don't. The announcement won't change much, will it?
Yeah.
So the excitement has been sucked out of the deal. So yes, I'm just happy we got him because I think he's a very, very, very talented footballer. That's it. I'm very happy we have him. If I'm being
completely, to me, you know what? To me, what it shows, regardless how we view the club from inside, because we always think, because that's what we are, because we're emotionally so in love, and our club's not winning because we're used to Man United winning and winning and winning all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we're used to that, and so we're always going to be extra critical, regardless. Even if we were winning a trophy, we will be extra critical we will nitpick at things. But it's interesting, a player who's outside of that, who's a young player, one of the most talented young players in recent years, and he showed it. He's in the Champions League as well, not just in the Bundesliga. Before people go, well, he only does it in the German league. It's a Farmers League. No, it's not a Farmers League. He's played well in the Champions League. He's played well in the Champions League. But it shows that he still wants to come, and Man United still means something. Somebody put in the comments before, how many other big teams would employ Oli? I'm like, no, we're not a big team anymore, mate. We're a traditional club. We're a big club, but we're not a big team anymore, pal. Don't get it twisted. We're not. We're not. Wan-Bissaka, for me, is worrying because towards the end of last season, I put a lot of these things, the goals that we conceded, down to fatigue and tiredness, But I can't. This is the preseason. I can't put it down to
analyze this game as well.
I can't. You know what? I can't. And apparently, Adam and Saeed, we've got now. Listening to Ollie's set piece coach, listen to Ollie or what Ollie was saying last night, that how he's looking to take the club the football forward. He was saying we don't want to make mistakes. We need to be tight at the back. We need to score more goals. We cannot be conceding from set pieces. We conceded a lot of goals from set pieces. So it's going to be very interesting what this new set piece coach does. We're going to be watching that, even though we don't know whose names is. But I'm going to ask you, Varane, it looks like he's happy training because about a month ago, everybody was getting giddy. Like I always say, Adam, if Manchester United if it was a Twitter trend, Man United will win the trophy every season. We will win the cup. We won the league. We would win. We will
back to back.
Exactly. We will be champions. We will be
exactly.
The PR, we are absolutely the PR. We are the best at PR.
If we win the World Cup.
Yeah, Kamavinga basically says, I don't know what's good. Kamavinga's like,
and even the Varane one,
he's looking at Kamavinga's looking at what happened to Donny. Kamavinga's younger than Donny, right? And he's thinking, why would I go to Man United if I'm going to go and sit on the bench when they've got all those midfield players? So this for everybody who's telling me, oh, now Murta. I don't know what you're talking about. To me, the biggest thing Man United was to not, if there was serious about Varane, Varane should have still been on holiday and the deal would have been sorted. But Varane now going back.
Is that put doubt in you?
Massively. Because now Ancelotti, new managers come in and say, listen, I can get the best out of you, son. I can get the best out of you.
And I'm trading with you.
And then Real Madrid will go, we won't give you 12 million a year, but we'll give you 10.
Yeah. Meet in the middle.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I doubt that Varane would come if he knows Pogba's leaving. So I feel that those two situations are a bit they're close. They are linked a bit because he's a good. You do not want to come to a club that sells his best and biggest player, especially if he's a teammate with who you won the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big thing for me. I suppose that's a big thing for Varane as well. And now we give Oli the contract. We sign Jadon Sancho. We will drag on this Varane thing. At some point, we will hear some leaks that he was demanding something like 500 grand a week just to make it look as if we are a good structure and we cannot get bullied by Rafael Varane and his agent, and we walked out of the deal. That's the sort of thing that Manchester United will leak to the press. And yeah, I'd like Varane. I think he's a very good centre half. I don't think he's as good as people make him to be. I think he's top class, but I don't expect him to be
not the level he was before.
Well, I think he can get there. He can get there if he's been there before, because now he's in his prime as well. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, Chief United therapy reporter, Mr. Khalid Radin Lassie. Negotiation have started between Man United and Real Madrid for Varane. Two clubs have been exchanging for several hours. All right. United have asked for Madrid's expectations. Coming week will be decisive. This is Mohamed Bofsassi. Yeah. Is he based in France? But he knows a lot about Real Madrid, what's going on at Real Madrid, right? Yeah. Apparently, he's going to be running as a politician. It's going to be very interesting.
Of course, it's going to be politics side.
It's going to be very interesting. But
I hope it help us out.
Listen, I'm gonna come back to this and say big pressure on Oli this season.
Yeah. Big.
To me, the deal was the best kept secret. Man United don't sack managers that finish second. They actually reward second place. Man United reward because they gave.
But it is our duty as fans to not stand for that. We have a duty.
Listen, but that's why on this channel, brother, we are Glazers out.
Of course we are.
Out. So for me, I go to the root. I don't go to what the causes of the root is. I go to the root.
Yeah.
Where the problem is, and that's where I go. I start digging.
You tackle the
illness.
And his shoulders and that.
His shoulders above the rest.
That's the thing. You tackle the illness. You tackle the illness.
You massage the hair.
No, I've got that. Listen, I've got no head. I've got no shoulder. I've got no head shed. I've got no hair. No roots, mate. But to me, I always attack because they're the ones who make the footballing decisions at our club.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the comments before, somebody needs to explain to me, the manager's part of the structure. No, the manager is hired and sacked by the structure.
Now, you know what? The damning thing is we were linked to Ralf Rangnick maybe a year ago.
Yeah. And
what came out was that the club are not sure about Ralf Rangnick because they don't want him to alter Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's vision. That is an absolute.
He was at the game. You know, Aaron. Big up Mr. Aaron UTD. Aaron took a photo with him because he's seen him at Old Trafford. He was there watching the game.
Yes. And that is an absolute disgrace that the club have said that because we have Ralf Rangnick is the man that is responsible for Thomas Tuchel, for Jurgen Klopp, for Julian Nagelsmann, for Marco Rose, for Peter Voss, who's at Leverkusen, I think. He is the man responsible for all the Red Bull programs who are doing very well because we are talking clubs that have about 10, 12 years history. He is the man that is responsible.
Yeah. No, he's brilliant. And he is.
If you take a look at
John Mayer, that's the way. Man.
Take a look.
I'm sorry.
The biggest managers in the world are German. They are that new wave of manager, and they understand it and they get it. They are very, very competent, and they are very, very good tactically. The thing we decided not to get Ralph Ragnick because we don't want him to clash with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's vision.
No, you don't have to. There's no clash. There's no clash. There's no clash.
And it tells you the board is an absolute.
Hey, you know what? David Fisher here makes a fantastic point. Pogba leaving doesn't affect Varane. Varane has won the Champions League more times than our club. Oh, ouch!
That's painful, isn't it?
He's won. He's known as the club ain't serious about coming for a final pie day where he's satisfied for what he's won.
Yeah,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
It's about the final payday, bro. It's about
payday.
It's about the final
payday. But then again, you come into a club that's not stable, despite what we want to say. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't made the club much stable for me, and you don't have your best. Because they talk, those guys, they talk between them. And Anthony Martial, the fan base is quite against him. I cannot understand for the life of me why. Paul Pogba, same thing. So you have your two boys, or your French compatriot. They are not really comfortable at the club. Yeah, if he gets £2 million pay rise at that level, is it worth 5 years? Or they are millionaires, those guys.
Listen, the name Manchester United still means something.
It does.
I play for Real Madrid and I play for Man United.
Yeah, but so does Real Madrid still mean something as well.
Of course. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. That's why I'm worried about this deal. Because now Ancelotti's a new manager. Ancelotti is known for being best managed. His management, one-to-one, is the best. The players all love Ancelotti.
Yeah.
So
he's a class manager as well.
He's a class manager. In terms of his man management, is second to none. His person management is amazing. I'm sorry, guys. If the structure on John Mehta were that good, our women's team would be doing all right. But we only recently, last week, we got a new manager apparently for the women's team. And our best players are leaving. So that just shows. There we go. Rafael Varane to Mayev is likely to take place at the end of upcoming week around 45.
The source a bit weak. The Parisian.
The Parisian, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, guys, please get the likes up. Please get the likes up. Get the likes up. And the thing about Pogba leaving is a circus. I'm not asked now. I'm not asked whether Pogba stays. Most likely, Pogba, what he's going to do is stay, run out his contract, and take him for next season. I think that's what he's going to do.
I believe so as well.
If they want to sell him now, and Paris Saint-Germain are the only club that can afford him, they have to sell players to buy anyway. So the Pogba, I'm not getting it because it's not. I'm not getting into it because to me, it's too many rumors. It's too much distraction.
Too much. But the thing that's what shocks me is we are trying to improve and move forward as a club, and then you have Pogba probably leaving and people against Martial, and we are letting go of players who are Anthony Martial and Paul Pogba are probably two of our 3 or 4 best players at the club, and we are okay to let him go and let them go, but we are trying to move forward as a club. We are Manchester United, being a big.
But some of the fan base, to be fair, some of the fan base think Martial's been a failure, Pogba's been a failure.
I think they are.
Listen, I don't share that, but that's their opinion because I think those players are easy to scapegoat because they're not British, they're not Harry Maguire, they're not English, they're French.
The French players are getting disrespected in England, and for example, just Thierry Henry is getting his praises and his flowers way too late. He was not appreciated as much when he was in the league, and he's one of the greatest players we've seen. Anthony Martial and Paul Pogba are absolutely two class footballers, and we don't have players in our squad who come near their level. They are too good at what they do, and it is a shame that we have fan base who is content with Scott McTominay and Marcus Rashford, and they are willing to slag, for example, Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial. We as a football club, as I said to Salih the last time, being a big club is about having top-class players sitting on the bench when they could get more minutes elsewhere and they are happy to stay. This is what being a big club is. Being a big club is having a midfield of Casemiro, Kroos, Modric, and having Isco on the bench, and Isco is willing to stay. That is what being a big club is. Being a big club is having Giggs, is having Cristiano Ronaldo, is having Nani, is having Berbatov, Rooney, and Tevez, and they're all happy to stay. So
big up.
Are we still a big club? That's the question. Are we still a big club, Nordin?
No, because our
big club by name.
Big club by name, but our owners and our board they don't match. The ownership the board, the Bristol bankers, the ambitions for the fans, what the fans have for the club, the size of the club, yes, still big, but the owners and the board, they don't match our ambitions. No. That's why we are we were a big club. We have a traditional club, but we are a small team. Fact.
We are Liverpool.
We act like it. We spend a lot more money on the PR and trending on TikTok
than we do
on football.
Yeah.
That's and that's why we're linked with Tom, Dick, Harry, his dog, their next door neighbor. We're linked with everybody. We are linked FC. That's what we are. And it's jobs for the boys business. Now we've got that McShane guy who's come back. He used to play for Man United. Now he's on the 23. Yeah, he's going to be a coach now. So more jobs for the boys.
Jobs for the boys. Exactly.
More jobs for the boys, Mr. FC. But Adam, you with your French accent can never be part of the DNA. Even though you get up since you were a kid, you were getting up early.
Yeah, it must be the DNA, eh? It must be the DNA.
You don't have that DNA. Don't worry, but we are Brexit, mate. Brexit, mate.
Yeah, but the thing is, look, I'm quite close to the English culture. For example, my dad is an English literature teacher. He specializes in William Shakespeare. He's a word expert in William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And he gave conferences at the William Shakespeare Institute in England. He drinks. I've watched Downton Abbey twice, and I listened to Drill, and I watched Line of Duty. So I'm quite close to your culture.
Bro, you are, but you sound a bit funny, lad. You're not from around there, mate.
Well, English is my third language, so I guess I'm not doing too bad.
Habibi, I understand and know that. But what I'm saying to you is that you will not fit in the mold. You will not fit in the mold.
I get that.
You don't look like you're from down the road, pal.
Yes, that's the thing.
Actually, you know what? South Manchester is a very welcoming. Manchester, we've got people all over the world. Manchester is as diverse as Toronto, New York, London. You know what I mean?
I went to England.
So Manchester, Adam, you would fit in perfectly in Manchester.
Yes, and I'll let you know when I come in. When it's.
Listen, Habibi, you got a place to stay, man. You don't even get.
I appreciate that. I have family in London. So I will.
Listen, you can come here, Habibi. You can come. Yeah. But listen, guys, please.
I appreciate that.
Give a massive thank you to Adam. Adam, hopefully this won't be your last time, bro. I'm going to be starting a new podcast on here in United Real Therapy called Prem Debates. So it's going to be debates. But it could be us debating the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer situation. So it can be inter-club debates or it can be Premier League debates. So I'm hoping to see you here again because I know you love a debate. I know you're one of the guys that likes to debate. Even though yesterday you did lose you lost the plot, you lost your head, but then you found it this morning. So well done for finding your head.
The thing is, even if I look like I lose it on Twitter, I'm quite a calm-headed guy. I'm quite cool.
It's it kind of like you show your emotions.
Habibi, let me tell you something.
It's therapy, isn't it?
That is therapy. Let it out.
Therapy.
Let it out. That's why I was laughing at your comment and I retweeted it because I was just like, because I know how you feel because I'm exactly the same.
Yes.
On the Straight Jacket podcast, I lose it. I start effing and blinding everybody.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Cool. And every time I listen to the Straight Jacket podcast, I need when I plug my earphone, I need to get the volume low, and then I start getting it up. I'm always in for a shock. Always in for a shock.
Adam, Habibi, good to see you. Okay.
Very mate.
Good luck with the studies. Enjoy a bit of the summer if you can. Okay?
Yeah, I need that.
Take care. Peace. Therapy Army. This has been a hell of a debate and hell of a discussion. Thank you to every one of you for getting involved. Big up. Everybody's views are welcome here. I hope that we've balanced it. One thing we all three of us have agreed on is that Ole is on extreme pressure this season. Huge pressure to win a trophy. And that is even from the Ole inners, right? This is what the whispers on the street. I've got my ears close to the street, what's going on, right? The Ole inners is telling me, we're backing him on social media. We're backing him if we get interviewed. But if you don't win a trophy this season, then it's come to an end, right? One thing, what we're still not decided on that, to me, a lot of us, because we only focus in what's happening on the pitch. And as a manager, we should be doing that. But we don't have the football structure. And Ole has bridged the gap, a lot of the football structure, like you said, Saeed. And yes, and I know that you know our structure's abysmal. And he is, at this level, at this level, he's been managing for 10 years, yeah? But at this level, he's learning on the job because these guys have given the guy the job, and history shows you. You tell me one interim manager that have become successful and become amazing. Interim. No interims. Interim managers don't. They're there to do a job for a certain thing.
And then
you bring in a guy that who you think have a plan to take you forward, right? To me, there's nothing that as a United fan to see one of our own. Ollie's one of our own, whether we like it or not. He might not be good enough to be Man United manager. He might not be showing that he's good enough. But for him to win a trophy, that would, for me, I think, even the Ollie outers, that would please them to see that he, you know what, a guy who's lifted trophies with us, who's done the most incredible treble with us, is part of that story, part of that big story. And it's not, he wasn't just because he scored in the final, because he was part of that team. That won the most historic team in British football, by the way. Yes. Still, people, City fans, Liverpool fans, you ain't been near no sniff the treble. You haven't. So let's not get it twisted. Absolutely. We have. So I would say that, and I hope that this has been balanced because it's not a negative show. We point out the realities, and people then can choose to see that as negative. It's always a point of view. Man United will always be Man United. Man United are bigger than any of us, bigger than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, bigger than Donkey Woodward, bigger than the Glazers.
Absolutely.
We will never die. We will always be alive. We will always fight and be competitive. And that's the only thing that we want as fans.
Absolutely.
So now we're going to knock up the Straight Jacket podcast.
Yeah.
When is it going to be outside?
I'll put out tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. But anyway, peace, love, light to every one of you. Please smash a like it's one of the Glazers' faces. Yeah, smash a like, please, on this video. And then we'll see you in the next one on the United Real Therapy. It's a therapy session. Everybody come and have your say. The next one I'm going to be doing, hopefully, a phone-in where everybody can let out before the season starts. So let's cleanse the palate, people. Cleanse the mental.
Let's do that.
The palate, make sure you eat nice, fresh food so that you feel better. So then you can get all your frustration out before the season starts, because we all need to be optimistic and going for it for the new season. Peace, love, light, Glazers out. Wash your face, wash your hands, and wash your body, people.
Thank you, everybody.